doing this once a month. We're here with Managing Director Clayton Blackman, that you probably all know and heard of. You've heard him on the podcast. How are you, Clayton?
Never better.
We're nearly at the end of January already for 2021. It's crazy to think we're only 11 months away from Christmas, which is tremendous. How was your break?
I had a good break, had a good break. It was nice to get away, and the phone didn't stop, unfortunately, but that's what you get for being in business. But I'd be worried if the phone wasn't ringing. But
correct.
Yeah, no, it was nice. Got some good weather. Had some time down the coast with you and your family and so forth down the coast. It was nice to get away, and a bit of surf and a bit of golf, and that was good. Yeah,
we did have a couple of games of golf. I think golf was the winner on the day when we played.
One day it was pissing down rain.
It was pouring rain, and but we hit some good shots, hit some ordinary shots. Speaking of the phone never stopping, there it is, folks, live. Didn't even pre-record that. We hit some good shots, hit some shit shots. I believe on one hole, I think you got an 8 or a 9, and then the next hole you birdied. So
I think you had a 10 and then a 2.
Yeah, so that was average of 6, which isn't too bad. How did we survive 2020 with the pandemic and everything like that in small business?
2020 was hard work. I think everyone was ready for a break and a rest at the end of 2020, but 2020 was just hard work. Like it was, we didn't miss a day. We didn't have to put any staff off. We didn't. We actually put staff on. So for us, 2020 we were up figures-wise compared to 2019, which not too many businesses out there, I reckon, can say that they had a bigger year in 2020 than they did 2019. But it was just hard work, mate. You just had to get out there and find the work and chase the work, and obviously we just wanted to keep our service up to our clients that we're known and used to and so forth.
It was an interesting year because retail, like there was you'd go to the shopping centres and shops were closing, but then on the flip side, the construction side of things, they were still building shopping centres.
Yeah, construction side of things, we were pretty lucky on the construction side of things because there was still, I think when the pandemic started, we sort of had 3 Woolworths and that's still on the go. And there was a lot of construction, and that was obviously led by the federal and state government and still going to be an overflow for 2021 where they're pushing and they're developing and they're trying to make it a knock-on effect through development and so forth down the line, and construction and building, and so it's just a knock-on effect. But there was plenty of construction that didn't stop at all.
Which is a good sign going forward too, because hopefully that continues on.
Yeah, and there's some big projects, not only in New South Wales, but there's some big projects around Australia. But in New South Wales, obviously there's the Western Airport, the Sydney Western Airport. It's going to be a major infrastructure. Plus, there's new roads and tunnels and so forth. Not necessarily helps us, but it's obviously helps construction companies and that.
Yeah, certainly. Now we're a month into 2021. How do you see retail going forward after a different 2020?
I think retail for 2021 is going to be pretty big because not a lot of retailers spent money in 2020, as you know. They were shutting shops. But I think there's a lot of bargains out there to pick up for retail space inside Westfields that are empty spots. And Westfields are going to want to have them tenanted. They don't want to put a hoarding up. They're going to want some sort of shop in there. So I think they're going to probably discount to try and get any particular retailer. Yeah, absolutely. To try and get any particular retailer in there. And it's a bit of a knock-on effect with retailers. Like as soon as one fashion store wants to open 50 shops, the next one's got to open 50 shops to compete, and the same with pharmacies or you name it, any shoe shops, you name any sort of retailer there, they sort of follow each other. So it's like Coles and Woolies. Wherever there's going to be a Woolies open up, round the corner is going to be a Coles open up, and then Aldi's following up as well. So there's always going to be, I think as soon as one retailer, the ones I talk to, they're all pretty excited with the workload that's going to come up for 2021.
Excellent, and that's good. Hopefully it gets people back spending money too in the shops to be allowed that to happen. Yeah,
and for developers and that sort of thing, like the interest rate currently, you're never going to see it any lower than what it is now. So now's the time to be developing because the money's so cheap to be borrow and develop it.
Yeah, certainly. what are the goals for KRGS Doors in 2021?
Well, the goals, obviously, we like to increase our numbers and so forth for 2021 compared to what we had. We always like to be able to grow. I think out of the 13 years that we've been going, there's only 1 year that I think we've gone backwards. Every year we've had an increase in our numbers each year, so that's a good sign. We just want to keep our service and that we're offering our customers currently and the products. We do have a couple of new products that we're working on behind the scenes. So keep an eye out for those shortly. They're coming along quite nicely.
I think so too, from my point of view, where I jump in and do a little bit of everything. I think the branding is a huge thing for us, where we're doing the podcasts and videos and things like this, and just trying to educate our customer and our users on, hey, this is what we can do, or educate them on the product, and not only the product, the market as in shop fitting, or the market as in retail as well, just so they can understand a little bit more about us as well.
Absolutely.
Just on the podcast, it's hard to believe that we sort of had this little idea of, hey, let's do a podcast, and we're now over 12 months old. I had a look back. I think we released the first one mid-December 2019.
I remember.
So we're now 12 months old, 23 episodes in. We just released one last week with federal member
from
Blaxland, Jason Clare, who was a good chat, really interesting chat.
Was a good chat.
You sort of sometimes think politicians can be a little bit boring and a little bit stereotyped as such, and give the answer you want to hear, but he was quite open and honest.
He was good. He was good to talk to, mate. Good
to have a chat to. We've got already a few in the pipeline. We're looking at probably releasing one again next week.
Yeah.
Brett Warden, who is the managing director of Ostron Surfaces, who we filmed. He was up there on his property up there in Queensland.
He's based in Queensland.
In the hinterlands, I think it was, overlooking the hills there. It was a nice joint, so he was a good chat as well. After that, we've got Trent Langlands, who's trainer to the Stars, based out there in the eastern suburbs. He does some training with some TV stars and Huey Bowman and Glenn Boss and
jockeys,
things like that. So he was a good chat as well to see how we got in there.
Yeah.
And also Keely and Marley Silver, who are two young Indigenous girls who are doing some tremendous things there about the history of Indigenous women here in Australia. And
they're doing some good work, actually.
Yeah, and Marley's just released, or late last year released, her own book on Titters for Titters about Indigenous women and their sisters and that type of thing. So that's coming up very shortly, which is exciting.
Yeah, how many million downloads have we got after 23 episodes?
I think it's clocked over, and we've gone back to zero and started again. So, but no, we're going all right. I look at the figures, but to think 12 months ago we had zero downloads. Because we didn't have a podcast, and now we're 23 episodes in, which is good fun. So,
and it's good chat, because a lot of people say, "Oh, I listened to your podcast the other day, and I heard that, and it was good to."
Yeah, it's a bit of an icebreaker.
It's a bit of a talking point for us, which is good.
Certainly. Now,
by the way, anyone that wants to come on,
drop us a line.
Want to talk? Listen to your story? More than welcome to have a chat.
Our motto is to talk to cool people with cool stories. So if you think you're a cool person and you've got a cool story,
it's the place you got to be.
Let us know. So it's actually the #1 roller shutter podcast in the world.
I've heard that.
Yes. So now to finish up, we'll probably do this every month, just a bit behind the scenes to give people an update.
Talk about what's happening.
Yeah, inside the world famous KRGS Doors. Finish off, I've got a riddle for you.
Riddle me this.
What word is spelt wrong in every dictionary?
What word is spelt wrong? If it's wrong in every dictionary, would it be the word wrong?
Correct.
Hey!
That is correct. So, not as dumb as you look. So, well, folks, that's inside KRGS Doors. We'll come back. We'll do it next month. So, thanks for joining us. Thanks, Clayton.
Pleasure. Take care.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Ta-da.